intermittent fasting, facts versus fiction. What a fascinating topic. There are so many factors which are involved here and just so many things to discuss that honestly I have been preparing for this talk for a while and I had to work extra hard just to make it short and simple. Before we start the talk, let me set the context by reading out a question asked by Saili. She has asked this question on lose belly fat fast video that I made. If you haven't checked that video yet, after this video go check it out. She asks, and I quote, I have also seen some people doing intermittent fasting to get results soon. A lot of yogis also talk about fasting. Would love to hear your thoughts on intermittent fasting and fasting in general, as your videos are always based on science. Oh, thank you. See Saili, intermittent fasting is nothing new. Most of us enter into fasting phase during our sleep unconsciously. Almost all the religions and cultures have also ritualized fasting, and these practices are mostly nicely intertwined with changes in season as well as agricultural cycles. Fasting this way is not just beneficial for us but also our surroundings. It's a good thing that we are revisiting all these things, and the research has also started in this particular domain. If I have to summarize the advantages of fasting for you and me who live in a world where food is abundantly available throughout the year and at any given point of time just a few clicks away, then it would be first, experiencing the hunger. Yes, most of us go without experiencing true hunger for years. We are eating just because we are habitual to eating, or worse, as an instant gratification. Understanding your hunger and satiety signals is the best thing you can do for your body. Once you know when you are hungry, when you are full, then you will be liberated from this entire business of dieting forever. Second advantage, efficiency. We know that whenever we place a acute or short term and mild stress on the body, our body responds positively. As a result of this acute mild stress, our body can enter into autophagy, which is in simple words, removal of cell waste and regeneration. Our body can learn to utilize fats better. It can improve human growth hormone levels. It can also improve insulin sensitivity. It can also have positive effects on cognition, thus reducing the risk of dementia or Alzheimer's. It can also reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. Notice how I'm saying it can or it has potential to do so and not claiming that it does. The reason is that there is not enough evidence at this point to back these claims. Second thing to notice, and a very important thing to notice here, is all the efficiency related advantages I just mentioned can be achieved through exercise. And we know a lot more about exercising, and then there are science backed protocols to achieve not just these things but much more in 100 times safer and more effective way. Third advantage, for our generation which is all about 2-minute noodles and one night stands, the advantage of fasting is pleasure postponement, or learning to differentiate between wants and needs, or reflecting upon our consumeristic and highly self-destructive habits, and overall taking back control of our mind, body, and with little deeper practice, soul. So as I have already established that fasting is a wonderful thing, let me talk about intermittent fasting, the diet. See, I already mentioned that it is a very promising concept but half-baked. Then how come there are like so many variations and flavors of intermittent fasting? We have heard about 5 is to 2, what else, 18, 16 is to 8, where people don't eat anything for 16 hours, eat for 8 hours. We also know like people fasting alternate days, or some people just having 2 meals a day and a long gap in between. So how come there are so many flavors? Then there are so many experts in the market and so many people raving about it crazily. See, it is very very simple. Whenever a research is ongoing or when science is half baked, that is precisely when you can make maximum profit out of it. Because this is the time that you can just perform a study on say 10 bodybuilders who have been strength training regularly and introduce intermittent fasting and then claim that it showed humongous increase in human growth hormone. Or you can make people eat only 2 meals a day, thus restricting automatically the calorie consumption, and make them exercise for 45 minutes regularly, and then at the end claim that intermittent fasting is the magic pill. Once the more comprehensive research is out, all these things automatically slow down, or all these things stop happening when people try out these practices for a while and start seeing side effects in long run, or worse, start seeing cascading health problems. So as an educated personal trainer and a fitness nutrition specialist, I have lot of questions and concerns when it comes to intermittent fasting. First and most basic, is it needed or is it required? If it is just about increasing insulin sensitivity or increasing human growth hormone, then there are much more research, tested and safer ways available. Second, about the research. So most of the studies which are done around intermittent fasting, the sample size is very very small, literally in 1 or 2 digits, which doesn't generate lot of confidence. Third, the population selection in these studies is also very very limited. We know that gender, age, ethnicity, health history, lifestyle and so many other factors play an important role when it comes to health or fitness related research. And the population selection for all these studies is very very limited and we just don't know enough yet. Fourth important concern is that most of these studies also involve some other factor which can influence the outcome. Simple like calorie restriction or exercise. So then it becomes like giving someone a well proven medicine and a new medicine and then claiming at the end that this new medicine is working wonders. It just doesn't make sense. Fifth point is about safety. See, there are 50 odd hormones getting secreted in the body, and when you're just talking about insulin and human growth hormone, there are a lot of factors that you're ignoring. I want to know what intermittent fasting does mainly to your stress hormones and your reproductive hormones. I also would like to know what intermittent fasting does to all the other systems in the body, mainly digestion, because we know it causes acid reflux. And what if you just end up messing your digestion, and what does it really do to your gut bacteria, which is super important to not just conserve but also foster. Another concern is about muscles and bone density. What does it, because it is obvious that long-term fasting will negatively impact both these. What about nutrient deficiencies, which definitely can get created? And again, the important factor, what about eating disorders? In intermittent fasting, you are not helping people get or develop a healthy relationship with their food, and this can literally push people on the spectrum of eating disorders. The next question or concern is about implementation. How do we know that if someone is in fasting or in starvation mode? The first one is beneficial, the second one is very, very harmful. So what is the reliable way to identify the difference? Next question is about adherence. If most of the people who try this are going to fall off the wagon after first few months, then it is just waste of lot of time as well as willpower. My last point is also my favorite point. It is about this romantic story people tell in support of intermittent fasting. It goes something like this. Long, long ago, we were cavemen or women. We used to hunt and then eat. And then there was this huge gap before we could hunt and eat again. And that's why intermittent fasting is the way we have been eating and should be eating. First of all, we are not cavemen or women. Second, we cannot go back to being cavemen or women. Second, and most importantly, this whole claim of us being hunters is just half true. We are hunters and gatherers. Predominantly, we are gatherers. Look at us. Look at how tiny we are as a creature. Look at our jaw, claws, which we do not have. Look at the digestive system. It is not a true carnivore body. Look, just think, our ancestors were apes. They were jumping on trees and they were constantly scared of predators that they couldn't even step on the ground for a long, long time. They used to feed themselves by just grabbing fruits, seeds, nuts, roots, insects, whatever they could find and digest. Because they were smart, they developed tools which could help them kill animals. They also developed techniques for that. They also learned how to clean and cook the animal and eat. So if you tell me that human beings are smart, that I would accept. But if you tell me that human beings were hunters, I will not accept that because I am smart. So, if I have to summarize, do I support intermittent fasting? No, which you must have guessed by now. And yes. Why yes? And how to fast intermittently? For that you will have to watch next video. Subscribe to the channel so that you get notified whenever I upload. Also like and share it so that this scientific knowledge can reach maximum people. I will see you next time. Bye bye.